feel like there's food in my mouth. Yeah, you're good. Hey guys, it's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another video. So today's video, I'm gonna show you guys a very classic Korean recipe. This is tteokbokki, which is spicy Korean rice cakes. You may have heard of these. I've made these multiple times on my channel. If you have never tried tteokbokki, it's basically heaven in your mouth, okay? It is like chewy little sticks of delicious doughy goodness. It's basically like rice that has been processed into these like doughy, delicious chewy sticks, and then it's in this like spicy Korean sauce. It is very delicious. Okay. I feel like it's been a very long time since I've shown you guys just how to make just a classic tteokbokki. Like I've made a rosé tteokbokki, I've made rice paper tteokbokki, I've made like soupy udon tteokbokki. I've done all kinds of stuff. This one is gonna be the more classic tteokbokki, just the more traditional. I mean, I did this video I think about 3 or 4 years ago, so I thought, hey, time for an update. It's very similar to the one I did before, but just like slight little changes, and I'm gonna have a blog post with the written recipe and all of the measurements, which will be linked down below. So make sure you check that out. And of course, if you try this recipe, give this video a big thumbs up and give me a little rating in my blog post as well. That helps me a lot too. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the recipe. This is how you make it.
Of course, the most important thing you'll need are going to be Korean rice cakes, also known as tteok in Korean. If your rice cakes are frozen and stuck together, make sure you put it in some cold water and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to allow the rice cakes to separate. Alright, let's get started with making our tteokbokki. Into a big wok or a pot, you can add in some water while bringing this to a boil. Instead of water, you can also use a low sodium or no sodium vegetable broth if you'd like, but I actually prefer to use kelp broth because traditionally Koreans actually use anchovies to flavor the broth for tteokbokki. And since kelp also comes from the ocean, it still gives you that kind of seafoody flavor that we're looking for. So what you would do is actually take some dry kelp pieces and boil them with some water for about 20 minutes to make a kelp broth. However, I have a little quick hack for you, which is what I use all the time, which is basically taking some kelp powder, which is what I did here, and just adding that into the water to make a very quick instant kelp broth. Now, once you've added the kelp powder into your water, you can let that come to a boil. And in the meantime, you can chop up your veggies. So I like to use some cabbage. So we're just chopping up some cabbage. Another thing I like to add into tteokbokki, which is not very traditional, is to add bok choy or baby bok choy. I just think it goes really well in tteokbokki. So that's another little tip for you. So with the cabbage, I'm also going to chop up some onion. I just like to slice the onion thinly like so. And we are just going to throw in that onion and cabbage into our lovely kelp broth. Now, if you made the kelp broth using the dry kelp piece method, then you can choose to take out the kelp pieces after you've made the broth, or you can just leave it in. I like to just eat it because I don't like to waste food, but it's totally up to you. Alright, now that we've added our veggies, again, we're going to bring this to a boil. You can also add in carrots, which is quite often used in tteokbokki as well, and other veggies that you like. Next, let's mix together our sauce ingredients. In a bowl, we're going to add in our gochujang, which is Korean red chili pepper paste. Oh my gosh, always a mouthful. And we're also going to add in gochugaru, which is Korean red chili pepper flakes or powder. We're also adding in some soy sauce and some sort of a sweetener. I'm using agave nectar. You can also use maple syrup or some other kind of sweetener. And I'm just going to give it a quick mix at this moment. You can mix it later. I don't know why I decided to mix it now. Anyways, we're also going to add in some minced garlic in there as well. And just mix that in again. Lovely. Just make sure you get a really nice, smooth sort of sauce. And now we go back to our rice cakes. They should be separated at this point if you've been sitting them in cold water, or they're already separated. Mine were already separated because they weren't frozen anymore. So I just threw them directly into our lovely pot. And this part is optional, but I highly recommend it. I actually found these puffed tofu pieces or puffy tofu, mini tofu pao, whatever these are called, at the Asian supermarket in the tofu section. And I thought this would be such a great addition to tteokbokki, not only to add some protein in here as well, but also to really soak up that delicious sauce. These like puffy fried tofu pieces are really good at soaking up the sauce or the broth, so it's a really good thing to add into tteokbokki because it really soaks up that delicious sauce, and it's really delicious. Okay, it is so good. And also traditionally with tteokbokki, there's actually fish cakes that's added into the dish as well, so I think the puffy tofu makes a really good alternative, especially when it comes to protein. You can also add in things like veggie dogs that I like to slice up into little pieces. That goes really well with tteokbokki as well, or any other type of protein that you'd like. After we've added in the rice cakes and the tofu, we can add in that delicious sauce and just mix it in. And this is my mom's secret. Well, this is like my mom's recipe, just the whole thing. Anyways, I'm gonna add in some sake, which is Japanese wine. You don't have to do this. This part is totally optional, but apparently it enhances the taste and all that stuff. So I'm just adding that in there as well. And after we add in that sake, again, totally optional, you can again mix that well. And of course, we're gonna bring this to a boil. And once the mixture comes to a boil, I like to add in half the green onions that we prepared. And honestly, you can use as much green onions as you'd like. I mean, there is no limit. Okay, the limit does not exist. So yeah, we've added in about half the green onions, and now that it is boiling, you can actually turn the heat down to a medium low and just let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the rice cakes have completely softened and they become really tender. And also the sauce should have thickened up quite a bit as well. So it shouldn't be super soupy anymore. It should have thickened up quite a bit. It should still be a little bit soupy, but like a thicker, sort of creamy sort of consistency. And keep in mind, when you first finish making this, it will look a little bit more liquidy than it will later, because the sauce continues to thicken over time as the rice cakes release the starch and the deliciousness. So it will become thicker. So at first when you finish it, it might look more liquidy than it will be later, if that makes sense. So once the rice cakes are cooked and the sauce is quite thick but still a bit liquidy, it should pretty much be done and you can turn off the heat. One of my favorite things to do is actually eat this a few hours or even the day after I make it, because the sauce becomes even thicker, as I mentioned, and the flavors just soak up really well over time. So that's my favorite thing to do. I think right away it's not as delicious as it could be maybe an hour later or a little bit later after you make the dish. So maybe make it a little bit in advance and then just reheat it, and just make sure you reheat it completely so that the rice cakes have completely become tender again. And when you are ready to serve, you can actually top with some sesame seeds, which aren't necessary but I recommend it, and also the rest of the green onions. And there you have it, guys. There is tteokbokki. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I'm telling you, it is one of my absolute favorite dishes. And again, you can enjoy this the next day as well. Just make sure you reheat it completely so that the rice cakes become very tender. But yeah, that's pretty much how you make a classic vegan tteokbokki. I'm gonna link some other tteokbokki recipes down below in the description.
Alright guys, so that's how you make vegan tteokbokki. Very delicious. Well, I'm gonna try it now, okay? What I like to do is I actually like to eat this like the next day or like a few hours later, because I feel like it gets even more chewy and it gets more like saucy, and the flavors kind of like they make love, you know? So it's very tasty. Another thing you could do is actually you could make this into rabokki, which is basically ramen and tteokbokki, okay? So if you add in some ramen noodles, then it becomes rabokki, okay? That's usually my favorite way to do things, but again, I wanted to make like a classic tteokbokki, so I didn't add any ramen noodles, but that is something you could do, and that'll soak up that delicious sauce, and it's so good. Anyways, let's try it. Okay. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Make sure you get all that sauce, okay? Mmm. Mmm. Guys. Let's try that tofu. Ooh, that is so good. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this recipe video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you try this out. This is definitely one of my favorite Korean recipes. It is so fantastic. We all love it, okay? We all love it, and I hope you love it as well. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and of course, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And again, the written recipe and all of the measurements and ingredients will be in a blog post linked down below. So check that out. And if you do try the recipe, give me a little 5-star rating, okay, on the blog post. That would be very much appreciated. If you guys want to check out more Korean recipes, I do have an entire playlist with Korean recipes, and I also have an ebook called Everyday Asian Recipes, which is full of my favorite vegan Asian recipes. So check that out. Again, link is down below. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!